I talked about this yesterday. So there was a story, I think Michael Wilbon in The Undefeated, or maybe it was PTI, started putting forth
It wouldn't have been Undefeated. Oh, yeah, it could have been Undefeated. I'm sorry.
Anyway, wherever it was from, he put forth a theory that LeBron James should come to D.C., political activism and other reasons. And my theory is Wilbon did this kind of as a make-good because he received such negativity from his D.C. as a minor league sports town, and then, of course, D.C. goes on the Stanley Cup run. How do you see it?
Yeah. Wouldn't shock me. I mean, Mike and I are friends. But you don't have to be in D.C. to be politically active. Come on. Right. Especially if you're LeBron James.
It doesn't
He's
matter
been politically active in Cleveland.
Yep.
And in Miami before that. I think that was a little bit probably. I haven't talked to Mike about it, obviously, and haven't read the piece, but I think maybe that was a little bit of a sop to D.C. Michael tends to go overboard. We all do at times. I mean, to call D.C. a minor league sports town is ridiculous. I think we've all agreed it's not the greatest sports town in the world by any stretch, but it's a major league sports town. It's just not it's not Boston,
right.
Or Chicago or New York.
St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis is a little different because they don't have an NBA team, but they do. They're unbelievable, and they don't have an NFL team anymore, for that matter. Mm-hmm. But they're It's an unbelievable baseball town. Right. It's one of the great baseball towns. But yeah, Michael went overboard when he said it was a minor league sports town, just like I went overboard when I said the kid from Carolina was better than John Wall.
You can't even remember his name. God, I can't remember
I literally can't.
Lefty point
that's because I'm old.
Yeah.
God, he was Kendall Marshall.
Kendall Marshall, yeah.
He was a hell of a college player, but much a good pro.
Can't be right all the time.
All right, so what is your take? Let's just transition, though. What is your take on the Caps? We have to have you to talk about it. It was just so awesome the way the city embraced him and the way the Caps embraced the city.
Well, what I said to you guys last Friday was I was really glad for all the long-suffering fans. I mean, the fans who filled that arena every night, those people, and the people who watched on TV every night when they couldn't go to the games. There are a lot of bandwagon jumpers in the last 3 weeks. You guys know that. A lot of people all of a sudden say, we have a hockey team.
Right.
Oh, it's winning. Rah, rah.
But that's good.
But for all those it's good for the Caps, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But for all those people, Sergio just missed like a 2-foot putt, by the way. For all those people who, suffered through all the losses, the disappointments, the Penguin defeats, the 3-1 up defeats in 7, I was really, really happy for them. And you know what? The Caps earned it. They didn't back into it by any means. They had to win a Game 7 on the road against Tampa. They had to get past the Pittsburgh kryptonite, and then they dominated the finals against a team that had been really, really good all year. So good for them, and good for the fact that we never have to hear people again say that Alexander Ovechkin isn't one of the great players in the history of the game. Because once it's interesting how people's reps change. Sergio Garcia, talking about him, his rep changed completely when he won the Masters.
Right.
John Elway's rep changed completely when he won the 2 Super Bowls at the end of his career. And now Ovechkin never has to answer the Stanley Cup question again, and that's a good thing.
Who's the author? Who's the writer that wrote that article?
Was it Larry Brooks or
Larry
something?
Brooks. You know Larry Brooks? Who's he write for, the Times?
I do know Larry Brooks.
New York Post.
Post.
Yeah, he's been there forever. 100 years.
Did you see what he wrote?
I did not know.
Well, he basically said that him winning the Cup doesn't erase all the years of losing.
Yeah, his legacy doesn't change.
And I thought that's preposterous.
That's just unfair.
Pretty good troll.
Right. Of Wilbon, instead of finding a way to say, okay, maybe Washington's not a minor league town, he turns around and says, well, I was still right. It would be like me saying to you today, I still think Kendall Marshall has a chance to be better than John Wall.
Yeah, man. It was just
stupid. Well, by the way, Wilbon
sometimes, you know what, in life, sometimes you just got to admit you're wrong.
Right.
Well, Wilbon
I've always said the 3 key words in marriage are, sorry, hon, I'm wrong.
Right. What were you going to say, Cakes?
Well, Wilbon doubled down on the trolling with the Caps and Ovi, and he just, 24 hours after the Caps won the Cup, he's came up against Rocket Richard and Patrick Kane, which I think is outrageous, just because he's won 3 Cups in Chicago, saying, well, he only has one. He's only got the one after 13 years of being in the NHL, which, look, let the guy celebrate having the Cup for a week before you start attacking him.
Yeah, exactly. And look, there are a lot of great athletes in sports who only have one. Dan Marino has none, and that doesn't mean he wasn't a Hall of Fame quarterback. Fred Couples won 1 major. He's in the Hall of Fame. There are other guys, Tom Kite, like that. So Yeah, I mean, he's now 1 for 13 is a lot better than 0 for 12. Let's put it that way, and you should acknowledge that. And the fact is that winning a championship in the 4 major sports is really hard. Only one team does it every year. There are 30 hockey teams. There are 30 NBA teams. There are 32 NFL teams. There are 30 Major League Baseball teams. Your odds starting out basically are 29-1 against you, and just mathematically. And then whoever's good has a chance. And the Caps have been competitive every year, which is why there's so much focus on the fact that they had not won. And who knows? They may go on a run. What if? Look, for years we said that about LeBron. LeBron hadn't won a championship. He left Cleveland without winning a championship. Then he won 2 in Miami, and people said, yeah, well, he had to go put together an all-star team to do it. Then he did it in Cleveland, and now he's been in 8 straight finals. And all the doubters, myself included, have to shut up. LeBron and Michael Jordan are the 2 greatest players in history, and you can put them in any order, and I'm fine.